Alright, in this video we're going to talk about cold bluing, and we're going to use Birchwood Casey's Super Blue. Cold bluing is a process that basically uses an acid-based compound to discolor the metal and put a sort of finish on it. Actually, the part we're going to work on is for this black powder revolver here, where we had to cut the chamfers. And I want to touch that up, so this is a touch-up. Cold bluing is a good option for touching up a finish or worn spots. This one here is a little bit different than what Brownells offers. I've never used Brownells. I've used not the Super Blue, but the regular bluing in the past. They're kind of different, so we're going to go over this one. And all I want to do is touch up something. So, what you're going to need with this a degreaser of some sort. I have acetone. You're going to need very fine steel wool as in polishing thing, and it's 4/0. Call it 4 zeros. Steel wool comes in different grades. This is the finest. And actually you can use this to polish rust off of a blued surface. This will not remove rust, where Scotch-Brite or sandpaper will remove the bluing. We don't have to do that here. So steel wool, the bluing solution, some sort of solvent degreaser, and there's many options you have. Birchwood Casey does sell a degreaser that goes along with this. You're going to need some clean water, okay, which I have here, and also this is a very small touch-up, so we don't have to bathe the part in water. Just a damp cloth would probably do, and we're going to apply the solution very sparingly. These shop paper towels, these heavy-duty things, come in handy. So these are available in any automotive area, store, or tool area. And we're going to need oil. Okay. So as per the instructions on this Birchwood Casey, the directions are clean metal parts with degreaser and then rinse with water. For complete rebluing, we're not doing that. Brighten area to be reblued with steel wool or abrasive cloth. Clean again, clean and rinse again. Apply blue on a swab, allow to work for 30 seconds, rinse with cold water, wipe dry. Polish again with the steel wool. Repeat the processes until it's dark enough. Now, a lot of the other videos out there, the guys are heating the parts. So let's take a look at what we're going to do, and we're going to do a pretty light touch-up on this here. Okay, the only thing we're going to touch up is where I broke the sharp edge. I think you can see where it's bare metal. I just want to touch that up, that's all. So I'm going to take the steel wool and I'm going to unravel it because I want a section of it, and once it gets contaminated, I want to use a clean section. So I'm just going to get myself a little section here, and then we'll start with, kind of giving it a polish. And this is not on the outside, so this is a good thing to experiment with, to check the durability and all of that. And you get all kinds of nasty crap all over. So we did a little bit of buffing. Now we're going to go and degrease the degrease it. Take a patch, get it soaked with acetone, and the Birchwood Casey stuff has to be prepped correctly to work. You have to degrease it, if you were doing a more complete job, you would remove the old bluing and all that other stuff. Now, the Brownells stuff, you kind of don't have to do that. They say that removes rust, but the thing you must remember is all of these things have an acid base to them. Okay, we degreased it. Now it says to clean it off with water. You shouldn't touch it with the fingers. So maybe we'll get a damp cloth, put it all in there, wipe it down, and then dry it off. Okay, so that should get us prepped. We'll zoom in here to where we're ready to go. Now supposedly I'm just going to take a Q-tip and apply this just along the edge of the chamfer. That's all I want to do. Supposed to wait 30 seconds or so. I see that one there's got a burr. Okay. So far, so good. That one on there, pretty straightforward. And now because this is an acid-based thing, the only way to neutralize this is with water. So we'll take our wet cloth on there. And actually in one shot, it's kind of done it. You can still see a shine on there. But I'm going to dry this off with a towel and get it ready. Okay, we got it damp, wash it off. You can still see a shine on there. Okay, so they say about 3 coats of this is what you kind of want to get down. Now I'm not going to buff this with the steel wool because the shine, it's not the outside finish. Basically all we're looking to do is protect this stuff from when we fire it for corrosion, and that's where we're going to get an idea of you know, what this finish is really kind of all about. Generally with this, to get it well blackened or darkened, about 3 coats, maybe more. It's getting a little bit darker with that application there. All right, so I'm going to let it sit. I'm going to rinse this off with water and then dry it, and we'll take a look at what we ended up with. All right, that's pretty good. Got it wet, dried it off. And what I'm going to do is put a final coat on there. Get that swab pretty moist. There we go. And it is darkened. Now how well this will stand up in terms of when we fire this gun is another thing. But then again, like I said, I want something on there at least other than just the bare metal, because I know the bare metal will immediately start to corrode and rust, and I'm going to see if this will help it any with this style of finish on there. And we'll let it sit again. Now this time I may go to the sink. I think I'm going to pull the nipples out and run this under hot water to wash it out finally and get the last, neutralize the acid. It's important that you neutralize this acid stuff. You don't want to leave it on there permanently. Now in between, if we were doing a gun, now I am going to do another gun, and in between these coats you should be buffing that, and that is to get a shine for an outside finish. I'm not worried about that, so I'm kind of skipping this step. I just want to see how this takes. So like I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, I think I'm going to get the nipple wrench out, get the nipples out, and then flush this whole thing out in some fairly hot water and then dry it off. And then what we would do after that point is we're going to coat it with oil, and it tells you to soak this in oil or coat it in oil overnight, and that will cure this finish. Alright, so I'll get back when I get done with the washing off part. Alright, here's our end result. I went and rinsed this out under hot water, and then just used a little pistol patch in here to wipe out the chambers and wipe everything down. And now we've supposedly that neutralized the acid, because acid is what this stuff is. It's an acid-based fluid. And so now the next part would be to oil it. And I'm going to use REM oil, okay? I got this fairly dried off, and it's going to spray this on there. They say to oil this to cure it overnight. So I'm going to coat it with the oil and leave it on these rags. It should go down into the cylinders. Maybe come back later, spray a little more on there, and just oil it all right up. Like that. Good coat of oil on there. Now the oil is to cure the finish, supposedly. So we'll see. But that'll be it. Just leave it as is. And actually, for what I needed it to do, it came out all right. So this little touch up on them spots is all right. But my question is, will this hold up when firing it and keep the edges of the cylinder from rusting? We don't know. I'm going to have to wait until we get some good weather, and then I'll take this gun out and shoot it and see if this fixed my chain fire problem. And we'll keep an eye on this and see how the blue held up. Now I am going to do, if I get time this weekend or sometime soon here, I do have a little single barrel shotgun that the whole weapon has to be done. Okay, it's in bad shape, and I'm fixing it up for a friend, and I told him, you know, let me experiment with this bluing, cold blue, and I'll try to re-blue the gun. So I'm going to do that, and we're going to use Brownells in the next bluing deal here. We're going to use the Brownells thing, and maybe I will use the technique where I heat the part first. This come out fine without heating. A lot of people suggest the heat. So we'll go on here and, well, you know, maybe in a few days or a week or so, we'll go on and do some more cold bluing videos.